Assalamualaikum, good morning. We are going to explore, we are back to the salary problem, but we are going to explore a new way of input and output using a dialog box instead of inputting and outputting using the console. So we don't need the scanner input anymore. We don't need the scanner class anymore, but instead we are going to use a class called JOptionPane. Now, in order to use the class, first we must import. Let's change this. javax.swing.JOptionPane. Okay, JOptionPane is a class of type swing class, and you have to import this swing class from JavaX, and the rest would remain the same. I would not need declaration for scanner. Okay, let me just take that out as well. Okay, the first thing that will happen is that I'm going to replace this because we don't have a scanner class anymore. So if I were to use a dialog box, now I have to call the JOptionPane methods to get or to read the values from the user. Now let me write that JOptionPane. Now this method, this class will call a method. This is standard method show input dialog. There are different methods available in JOptionPane. Show input dialog means it will automatically gives us a text box so that we can enter a value there. For the output, we will use show message dialog. Let me just write that. Let me just copy this. This will become show message dialog. Okay, now that is not final yet. So JOptionPane show input dialog, and basically it will take 4 parameters. Okay, the first one is always null. This indicates the position, and what is the message that we are going to give to user. So I will copy this, enter hours, I put here. The third one is actually the title of the dialog box that you have. I just put the salary. It can be anything. Salary. And finally an icon. So JOptionPane dot we will use question message. These are constant. If you go check in JOptionPane class, you will see all this constant. Question message. Okay, now let's not do this yet. Let's compile, but we cannot compile first. Let me take this out. Now as you see, this statement basically going to pop up. It will pop up a dialog box, the name salary with this message, and it will automatically gives us one text box for us to enter something. But the main reason of getting this dialog box up to user is for user to enter something, and we have to store that value somewhere. And when we want to store the value, one thing about JOptionPane is that it only stores as text. So we have to create one variable. This is just a temporary variable. I call it input. The name is string. Yeah, I can declare up here. Okay, so input will be here. But nonetheless, input, whatever that is keyed in by user, now is stored as string, and we cannot use string to calculate in our formula, because string cannot be multiplied with numbers. So what we have to do is we have to now convert the data type from string to double, because we want to store at the end into the variable called hours. So hours equals, we will call one method called parse double, and what we are going to convert is actually the variable input. Okay, so what happened in this line is, after the system takes in value from user, if I put 100, it will be stored as string. So now I'm going to convert the string or 100 into actual numbers and I store in double. Okay, so I will try save that. We do with the input first, compile and execute. Okay, now you will see this is our console, but it doesn't matter now because now we are using the dialog box. So if you see, this is the title, comes from the third parameter argument. This is the message enter hours, come from the second one. So I will go ahead and enter 100. I click OK. And the output still comes out in the console, which is fine because that is what we are doing here. We have not completed, we have not changed the output to the dialog box. Now I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So JOptionPane show message dialog. This is different method, show message dialog, meaning I just want to, the intention of that dialog box is just to display. So again, it will also take 4 parameters. And the second one, if you see, these are the message. So I'm going to copy the whole thing here and put in the second parameter, followed by the third and the fourth parameter. Only then, when I output when I show the output, I don't want to use this icon, question message. I will use information message. Okay, so let me take that out. So I save that. I compile and run again. So you see the dialog box, again I enter 100, I click OK, and the output comes out in the dialog box as well. So you can see there's nothing on the console. The salary is 100. You see this I here, that is the icon, information message. Salary is the title that I put. It can even be your name, does not matter. Okay, one thing to note is that JOptionPane requires only 2 minimum parameter argument. In fact, if I remove the entire thing here, okay, and I also remove this third and fourth argument in the show message dialog, I save, I compile, and I run again, it still comes the same, but you will notice the difference here. Now I don't have the title salary here because I do not indicate anything, so this is a default dialog box. It will comes out as input. I press in 100, and then this is the standard dialog box for show message dialog, which is message. Okay, alright. So we'll continue with other parts of Java from the same problem. Bye.